welcome to Great Kringle Skydome for Super League action. As I'm joined by Phil Crowder, my name is Peter Susovich.
Hi Pete, how are you tonight? There goes the bell, the start of the ultimate semi-finals for the Kringle Bowling Club's Super League. And as you can see on the screen, there's the cup that they play for, the silverware, so to speak. And we have two. So the four in the team, we're watching Risebud plays Hornets, and this will be the singles. And we have Frankie Krislovic, who's bowling for Risebud. And then what we're going to do, folks, is next door, also the two teams are playing in the fours. The other teams that we do have is, of course, the Rat Pack and Hooded Life. And they're playing out in rinks 4 and 5. After the first session, we are actually going to swap them over. So any of you out there who are supporting Rat Pack or Hooded Life will get to see the triples. So the triples will be played in the second half for the second session, will be on the show rink, as you see it right now, Pete. Okay.
And again, if there's any comments, folks, please put them up on our Facebook page, Halftime Heroes. Be able to join us there for some live action.
Now, they have been practicing, and they're allowed to practice until 6 o'clock when the bell's rung and they have to stop. Just to remind everybody that the singles is first to 21, or the bell, which is after an hour and a half. As far as the fours, the triples and the pairs, that's all 15 ends, or literally going to 1.5 hours. So the bell or 15 ends.
Already heaps of messages coming through, which is great.
Who we got? Tom Graham, Brad Jenner, Gary Ingley, and of course we have Trouty's better half is there as well. Welcome, Terry Matthews. He's sitting there with a scotch with Jan Richardson, I dare say. Tom Graham saying, let's go, Bundy. Okay. And we have our marker, which is Paula, who's actually on the board, but wearing one of our shirts, which we use for tournaments. You'll see in the red and white bars rather than black and white like in baseball or basketball. So we've got our own special tops, which are for markers, umpires and officials. So at this stage, Frankie in a little bit of trouble. Still coming down the same side. He's asking it to get up. I'll tell you what, very good bowl to possibly sneak in. Soon see.
Maybe just short, Phil.
Maybe just short.
Oh, we're going to have a measure.
No, they've agreed whose it is. Now remembering first end, folks, doesn't matter how many shots you win by. It ends up being just a maximum of 1. So it's a roll-up, but a roll-up that does have a repercussion, so that you get a little trial to get a little feel of it, but the maximum that you can win on the first end is 1. So even if you had 4, it's only 1. Now we're back to the normal format, so whoever gets the closest bowls, how many number, of course, that's what they end up doing. They get the proper score. All right.
Oh, my.
Okay, so obviously the Hornets got 1. Talking to Spence. He told me the Bundoora or the Hornets lead is an absolute gun, and it's certainly showing that way. Okay, so if we just go through the teams as we have it, let's have a look. Let's put it live. Okay, so for Hornets, we have Adrian Marcioli, who apparently has been an excellent lead for a very, very long time. And saying, as soon as I say that, Frankie comes in, sets it through, which is a lovely bowl, suggests he's holding two. He's playing against Frankie Krislovic. Over in the fours, for the Hornets, we have Wayne Barnes, Damien Barnes, Nathan Mills and Caleb Shaw. So they're playing in the fours. So that's the five that are playing tonight. As far as Rye, they continue to keep the same, really. Singles, Frank Krislovic. We're looking at Steve Williams, Joe Turner, Paul Tyrol, Trouty, and Lee Williams is the skip in the fours. When we look at the other side, we're looking at some very good players as well. In Rat Pack, it's Chris Owen's team. We see Chris Wilson, Tom Ristic, Chris Owen and Dalton are in, and Graham Spencer is playing the singles. In the singles, playing for Hooded Life, he's up against Adrian, whoops, Daisy, I'm pretty sure it's Dylan Fisher. Let's have a look. And it is, he's playing against Dylan Fisher, so that'll be a tight old battle. In the fours, we have Peter Studd leading, then young Jet Simmons, Scotty Biles and Toddy Simmons is skipping. So there's some high quality bowlers out there, folks. As I said earlier, or yesterday on Tuesday, the cream has certainly come to the top.
Well, Phil, I reckon we might be able to see 4 shots there, maybe.
Wow, and we suddenly have our screens back, Pete.
Yes, we're alive.
We're alive. Let's hope it doesn't cut out. Don't touch anything.
Don't
So we've now got our side camera, folks, which is lovely. Just before we went to air, unfortunately, the screen went blank on us and it was stuck on the trophy, but now Pete can do some extra shots for us. So we've got our third camera back, which is fantastic news. Club's looking absolutely fabulous. There were meals on tonight. Everyone, quite a large crowd inside and out. And of course, next week the meals are on again. So people couldn't eat all of their lasagna, and that was only $12, a massive bowl of that. Then there was some fish and chips and also roast pork and veggies for the healthy minded. The menu will change and we'll put that out. Next week it'll be a rip roarer. Of course, the 2 winners tonight will play off for first and second, and the 2 teams that lose will play off for third and fourth. So Frankie came back pretty solid there.
Picked up 4, Phil. That's a fantastic effort.
Wow, 4. So just as I say that
The first 3 bowls are offline. He nails it with nearly nails it with his first, but then comes back down the next end.
Yep.
And puts down 4 bombs.
Well, there you go. Of course, we'll try and keep you up to date as far as how the other rinks are going for anybody who's obviously clearly interested. Remembering, the first prize is $5,000. It is a $10,000 prize pool. And because of that, we do thank our sponsors, particularly Momentum, who is our gold sponsor. Momentum is our gold sponsor. Our silver sponsor is Crowders Community Real Estate. For any of your real estate needs on the Mornington Peninsula, then we have our bronze, which is Max Australia. We thank them. They, of course, did our canopy over here at Skyedome, and of course do other facilities, car parks, sporting arenas, schools, etc. So they're fantastic. Max Australia, and we have Resting Toucher, Andrew, Mr. Alexandru is here from the Resting Toucher at the Brighton Bowling Club. You can order your stuff online. He will deliver it here for pickup as he lives in the area, which is fantastic. And then we thank Anthony Baldwin, who is our local club member here, but ProAb for all your commercial and industrial electrical needs. Give Anthony a call and he will certainly look after you.
I'm pretty sure Andy joined the board, was that correct, Phil?
Yes, Andy Alexandru is just, yes, I think even chairman of the board now.
Yep.
So that's fantastic news.
Big plus for the club.
Yeah, it is indeed. And we've also had Peter Chard, a well-known bowler, is also now vice president on the bowls committee with Lyle Tabner, a couple of well-known names in bowls on the Moyne Peninsula and beyond, I dare say.
And a big shout out to our the Mornington Peninsula News Group. They're taking the feed as well.
Fantastic.
Also on YouTube and Vimeo. If anyone wants to pick up the links, I can display those. But we've got really great numbers there on Tuesday night. So
Yes.
had around 8,500 people watching on Tuesday
Here we go.
night.
He's hoping to push one. Oh, almost just needed to roll it over. But one to Frankie by the looks of it. All it takes is one good bowl, and it was just couldn't. He was just trying to push into that. He couldn't come the other hand, of course, because if he came onto that with any weight, he would have spat the jack out to Frank's bowls.
And it is a mad rush to 21, Phil, or the clock.
Well, 21 or the clock, so an hour and a half we play in each session, then there's half an hour in between. We can tell you that we are replaying the interview we did with Sammy Atkinson, the young lady who just won the Australian Indoors up there in Tweed Heads, and we did an interview with her only last night, but we will replay that in between the two sessions, and it's well worthwhile listening to.
Didn't that go? I was having a chat with you on the phone, Phil, and we had about 200. No, we had about 300 people watch Between the Bays last night.
Yep, no, it was excellent.
And then got home about half an hour later and saw about another 800 had jumped on and had a view. So that's great. Really appreciate your support and all the feedback we've received. So yeah, we'll chuck Samantha's interview up there at the break, and then we'll publish that as a separate interview at the end of the show. So anyone wanting to have a look can see.
Now I do want to let any of the bowlers know out there that we are basically giving all of the teams who played this year first opportunity to actually lodge another team already for the next Super League next year. It will be played in July and August, similar time, and we are giving them first opportunity to a certain time. But I can say that if there is anyone out there who is interested in putting a team in, please contact myself, Philip Crowder, the Bowls Operations Manager here at Coringal. My email is bowlsmgr@coringalbowls.com.au, or my work phone number is 0428 428 804. Either that, or even put your contact details in the comments, and we'll certainly get in touch with you and send you an interest form. Fair to say though, a fair few of the teams have already indicated that they wish to come on board.
I'd have to go to 4 nights a week, Phil.
Well, it could happen. It would make the finals easy, wouldn't it?
Whoa.
Whoever won the top four would...
Straight
who won
selection.
the four would be straight into the semi-finals. But it was an interesting concept, having all the second place teams in the three sections play off in a different format on Tuesday. And that's why Risebud are in. Frankie's looking for it and misses. So Risebud are in as the lucky second chance team. The other three actually won their sections. So it's made up the four. We did a random draw last night, and we had Samantha Atkinson actually choose numbers.
It was a great interview, Phil. I'm a bit nervous that if I partner up on the rink and you bowl the wrong direction, and she might... I'm tipping you might get a spray or something like that.
No. From Samantha? No.
You sure?
I'm very sure.
She seemed pretty clear in her
Oh no, well
in direction. So
yeah, well the reality is that she's very focused in where in the direction she wants to go. That's very clear. She's a goal setter. She's done that. She's come from a competitive swimming background, so for that reason, you know that she's focused in that regard. And she's also had a business background. So, and the way she spoke was excellent as well. Straight to the point, no messing around. And she mentioned her goals, and that's certainly what she's going for, and she's well on track for that as well. So, but for those who missed the interview, please hang on, folks, and listen in between the two sessions, and I think you'll be equally impressed. Okay, so let's have a look at the scores. 5-3 to Frankie Krislovic. So it's still staying close. And as far as the fours are concerned,
1-1, I think.
1-1. And let's see how Mr. Spencer's going against Dylan Fisher. Well, Dylan's up 5 to Spence on 1. So he's sort of broken away. I'll look at the head at the moment, and Graham Spencer's definitely holding one shot at this stage. And over in the fours, Rat Pack is down 0-3 to Hooded Life.
G'day to Stan from Perth. It's tipping he's got the caravan in tow and doing the journey, or it might be on the trip there. Of course, Stan from City of Frankston Bowls Club.
Yeah. Well, I've got to tell you, there's different hype here in the semi-finals, Pete. There's plenty of yapping out there, support, and also plenty of people in the crowd giving them that support. So it's excellent.
We'll pan around shortly to the crowd just so you can see what's the crowd that has come in. Real great atmosphere down here. If you're in the area, pop in. Of course, all culminating next week in the grand final. Oh, might get the inside snap. Oh, just missed.
Frankie's still holding one. Can tell you Graham Spencer is holding 3 at this stage in his match in singles against Dylan Fisher over on rink 4. He's just put one now in to move it. Oh, and he hits the bowl and moves away, so he's down definitely 3 shots at this stage.
Yeah, different level of activity going on compared to Tuesday night, isn't there, Phil?
Oh, definitely. And a lot of these people know each other. There's a fair few people here from Metro. Definitely when you look at Rat Pack who are playing.
Great bowl in there.
Tommy Ristic is there as well, Graham Spencer, and then you start to look at obviously Hooded Life, which are pretty well predominantly all Clayton boys. And then when we look here, we look at Hooded Life. We're looking at the Hornets, who are obviously from Bundoora. So it's sort of the only local flavour here, so to speak, at this stage is definitely Hooded Life, who are made up of sort of the lower end of the Moyne Peninsula, hence the name Rosebud, and also Rye.
People out there, down there, don't worry about the football club. I can rest assured they're not merging at the moment. So...
So I think we'll have a look at the score now.
I think he's picked up by 1.
Yes, so that's 5-4 now.
It'd be fair to say, Phil, Hooded Life the favourite, you think?
They have been sort of from the beginning. They were pushed actually to a couple of draws.
Later in the round?
I think in the 5th round, last of the round robin. I mean, no one is totally indestructible, and especially in bowls. And it depends if you get a run under a little bit of pressure, anything can happen. Though with the format with an hour and a half, you'd like to think that, irrelevant of the odd wick or the bit of luck, that over that period of time the cream would certainly come to the top in that period of time. I have to say the club's looking wonderful with the way it's been set up. It looks fantastic. We've got the music going outside, people are inside. Got the heaters out under the veranda here. People are certainly watching, having a meal and a drink. I see Ali Forsyth's here. I think I said the other day that he was in Canada getting married. Well, he didn't. He tells me He was actually over there for two weddings, but it's not his own. He is engaged, he tells me. So there you go. But Ali Forsyth is here. He's almost straight off the plane from Canada. So we welcome him. He, of course, played the first round, but then did leave to go overseas, and so he didn't qualify. So he's unable to play for
Adrian,
Four Hooded Life.
Adrian just shaking the head on the release there. He wasn't happy. Might crawl in though.
Well, in saying that, sits for two. Well, Frankie won't be happy with that. He's still got another bomb to go.
I'm just noticing early on his backhand
Yeah.
is not performing that well compared to his forehand. I think Adrian would be looking for cover here, or
Oh, wow, hear the talk and banter out there, Pete.
getting very vocal at the moment.
Oh, he's in with... Oh, great result by Frankie with his last bowl. May even have two... Oh, no, it'll only be one.
Only be one.
Great result. Was able to flick out both bowls. Good starter by Frankie.
Nice straight posture there from Adrian. Gentle release.
He bowled extremely well the other week, I have to say, when I saw him play singles. Now Frankie's so far gone through being unbeaten in the singles, so he's going to obviously try and keep the slate clean. Coming straight back from the Australian indoors only last week.
Sticking with that backhand.
Yeah, he's certainly got a toucher there and nailed it. Must be close for. I'd suggest he does. It's actually mightn't look at it, but I'd say he's two, holding two. And Paula indicates that, two down. So he's just asked where is the shot bowl in relation to the jack. Paula mentions it's just slightly behind jack. So of course what he'll be doing is trying to either sit that or take the jack. And unfortunately he's going to cross the head.
Oh, he might get a clip here.
He may clip and drop. Be interesting now. Ask the question. I think Frankie asked if he was down now. If so, and the answer from Paula was yes. So he's looking for the jack. He needs the jack, and he hits it now. Of course, that goes on the tee because it's out of bounds. No dead ends in this comp. So it's given plenty of room, but in saying that, he still has to draw it, doesn't he? Needs to get around. And he has.
Fair bit of room though there, Phil.
So favour actually 2 down. So Frankie, whilst he's did move it, favour's 2 down. He's got to get one in. He does not want to run into his own. If he does, he needs to hit it hard. But it won't be enough. I'd suggest it's cut out the second shot, so he's just down the one. But of course now it leaves Adrian a big chance. I'd say it's a good metre out, the shot bowl, so he can afford even to be a little bit long.
So a shot to tie here, Phil.
Then game on. He's given it plenty of grass. It's all on the weight. Needs to get around Frankie's.
Oh,
It's close. No, he's around. It's a bomb. It's an absolute bomb. So that'll be 2. So the score is 6-all, Peter.
and Phil will just go quickly while it just...
Yep, look at the other scores. Okay, let's centre in on the board if we can. And we'll see there that in the 4s, Hornets are up 2-1. Over there in rink 4, we'll see that, yep, Dylan Fisher is up 9-2 against Spence. And unfortunately, Wayne is just in the way in the grass. No, there he moves. Hooded Life is also up 3-1 in the 4s as well. Remembering, it's for an hour and a half. 15 ends for the 4s, which has basically never happened. So basically an hour and a half. And the singles is to 21 or the bell after an hour and a half.
Great crowd and attendance inside.
And the other thing is happening that in the kitchen, they're actually making takeaway too and putting them in the containers for people. So quite a few people I see are actually getting meals and getting them packaged, and then they'll be taking them home. Remembering the meals will be available next Thursday night as well, Pete. Very good bowl here by Adrian.
Yeah, that'll give him the shot there.
Wow, there's plenty of banter out there, Pete. Great bowl by Frankie. So unfortunately, Paula was asked the question, but then Frankie's bowl just fell over. So that changed actually her call. I see Stan Slawinski says hello there, Pete.
You're calling in from Perth?
Carolyn Burgess is watching. Alan Fincher is watching. What is Stan Slawinski says hello from Perth? Yep, Craig. Excellent.
Big cheerio to Vince up in New South Wales.
If you have any questions, please just send us a text via the live stream. Frankie now holding definitely 2. Certainly is a very good ding-dong battle here.
Great numbers also joining in across around 20 networks that are joining us. So probably everyone on the East Coast just having dinner and snuggling in on the couch.
Great line, just a little bit long. Frankie's holding 2. Here's his opportunity, so he takes his forehand way. And I suppose his job would be to try and sit the nearest bowl of Adrian's, but I think, has he missed the opportunity? I believe he has. I think you'll find it'll be 2 to Frankie. See, Graham Spencer has taken the mat over there, so he's got probably at least one. It'll probably be 4 to 9 to Dylan Fisher, leading. Leading by 5. Over in the fours, Hooded Life still 3-1. Plenty of yap, yap, yap going on out there, that's for sure. Stakes are high. Winning team goes into the chance to win $5,000.
Well, really, it's a division, Phil, between $8,500 and $1,500, isn't it, when you look at it? So you're either in the rich one or you're in the poor one.
They've all enjoyed it, very much so. As I said, all the teams have pretty well entered, as in have indicated that they would like to play a game. But again, I put it out there, if there is anybody who wishes to get in on this fabulous competition, please give me a call at the Kringle Bowling Club. We'll certainly give the... Sorry folks, we just had to go. We were going to get a guest compere today, Sammy McNeil from here, and his wide Scottish following. So there you go. But unfortunately he does have a little bit of an operation, not feeling too well. He wants to be right for that, so he apologises, just stuck his head in. It's all right, we'll have to cancel the interpreter now.
Yes, we could have had a... we could have generated some multilingual...
Well, I think even if we changed voice to text, I don't know if the text would have picked it up.
Yep.
Goodness knows what it would have tried to translate it as.
Might have been this skipping Scotsman across the front. Janine Meyer calling in from Wallen Bowls Club. G'day Janine, how you going? And John Bowles, he always has these rumours, doesn't he?
Well, yeah,
Phil, he's put you on the spot there.
Well, he has. He's used the cryptic name as well, but I do fully understand who he's referring to. And the answer is I have no idea, John.
It's a TV show, John. Come on.
I don't play with fire.
He was at the... Oh, well, nothing. Yeah. Fantastic.
Janine Meyer says hello from the Wallen Bowls Club.
Yeah, I just said hello. She's come back and said hello, so she's doing well.
Yeah, she is.
As Adrian, potentially maybe 3.
Yeah, 2 at least. They come up and have a look.
2 and a measure.
Looking for 3. Just see. All right, so 2 to Adrian, which levels it up again at 8 all. Very good match here. When we do get a chance, we will actually have a look and see where our viewers are from. We like doing that. Like to acknowledge where everybody is coming from.
Well, we did have 10,000 people coming in from Scotland, but...
Yeah, we did at one stage. Yeah.
Now, a lot of talk last Tuesday night about bowls stopping and bowls starting and releasing and all that, so we'll just keep an eye on that tonight. So, had some talk about feet coming off the mat, but also the rule above the mat, so very interesting.
All right, I see Dylan Fisher has moved out to 10-3 against Graham Spencer in the singles. And over in the fours, Hooded Life are now 5-1 against Rat Pack. between Riseborough and the Hornets, though. In the fours, they're 2 apiece at the minute. And 8 all in this, so both rinks are equal.
And, well, just had a call from the Darwin bookie, actually.
Yes?
Yeah, so he's back in circulation after a hiatus of about 9 months.
Yes.
And he's shortening the price on hooded live fill, so they're coming in drastically. So we'll see how we go. Coffee Gym in Port Macquarie.
Yeah.
So Adrian definitely holding 1, potentially 2. Coming in wide again. Forehand's been pretty good to him. And I'd say he's picked up a 2nd, potentially a 3rd. Francis going for the drive.
Oh, just misses, so this will be 3. Still got 1 bullet though. So what's he going to do? Does he cover behind, or does he put a wing bowl out just in case the jack stays?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so
Just in the right position, isn't it,
no,
Phil?
well, it was a deliberate ploy to try and stop it. Now Frankie has to do a bit of a sweeper. Oh, I don't know if it's gone wide. They'll need to swing hard now. It's thereabouts. Here it comes. Won't be shot, but he sits in for 2nd shot. So a good result there. In my opinion, probably cuts out 2 shots. So very well done.
Jeez, Adrian applying the pressure there.
Yes, very good, very good. Now, Lovely close head, isn't it? Frankie's holding one.
Well, it's got to fall short.
That pull short. Frankie's one up here in the head. He's one down on the card. Looking wide. It won't affect the score. It gives Frankie the opportunity now to come in and sit on Adrian's closest bowl and sit for two. Needs to drop. Hard. And just going wide. So Frankie gets one shot and the scores are levelled up at 9 all. Very close match. Let's have a look. And at this stage, Risebud are up in the fours, 3-2. Let's have a look at the singles. And I can tell you, Rat Pack, Graham Spencer is now 6 to Dylan Fisher. Hooded Life is on 10, so he's reduced it to only the 4 shots. Over in the fours, Hooded Life are winning the fours, 5 to Rat Pack 2. So Hooded Life sort of edging themselves away from Rat Pack in that match, but surely it's totally different here against Rosebud and the Hornets. Very close. A draw in the singles and only 1 shot in it, so obviously just each end only being 1 shot so far, I would suggest. 5 ends and only, yep, that's it, 1 shot on each of the ends. So it's extremely close with Rosebud just up 3-2 in the fours.
I'd say that might have it just on the view here, Phil. So it just might hold the inside
would
line.
indicate that maybe Adrian is, but you see Frankie, he's looking for the jack, wrong side of it. Need to be a bit wider to sit Adrian's bowl or the jack. He's now got to that side. I have to say, if I was Adrian, I'd seriously consider changing hands and coming the backhand. I think he might do that. Looks as though yes he is the answer to that. And that's the best way. He's got danger if Frankie moves it over to his other 2 bowls. This way, he can either take the jack or sit either of Frankie's 2 bowls. And we can see that as it comes down. He's not liking his weight. Question is he 2 down? So 1 and a measure is the reply from the marker. So Frankie comes down again. The perfect world would be to sit Adrian's shot bowl. They turned a long way last time, but won't be enough this time. So the question we'll ask by Adrian is how much. Looked as though it's probably at least 2.5 feet in front of Jack. See if he can make the alteration. He's gone wider this time. The question is, will it come down? Here it comes.
Jeez,
Needs to be the weight, needs to get up. I don't know if that is even second shot either. So the question is asked, is the last bowler's in the count? Paula says, yes it is. He's 2 down. He's gone for weight. And he's missed. Oh, wow. So this gives a big opportunity.
Jeez.
Okay, which hand will he come? This be interesting. He's been coming the backhand. Perfect world if he came in underneath and sat Frankie through. He could get 4. But the risk of that, of course, is that he moves the jack. Maybe just not greedy. Maybe he'll just try and draw it in. Very short forward arm motion. More of a jab, to be honest. However, he needs to come in under, and he has. Wow, that could be 3.
That could be 4, Phil.
No, I think we knew that the front one was out of it. They're looking just in case. Frankie comes down, has a look. He won't mess around.
One, two.
1, 2. Surely it's 3.
That's 3. I think we're going for number 4 now.
Let's have a look on the scoreboard as it goes up. And it was 4, Pete, so it's now 13. 13-9. So Adrian moves out to a 4-shot lead. Frankie definitely holding shot, about 1.5 foot in front of Jack. Can report that Dylan Fisher is up 12-6 against Graham Spencer on rink 4. Risebud have moved ahead 4-2 in the 4s here, folks. Whoop, no, it's been dropped down to 3. Whoops, someone's playing with them. 3 all. No, somebody pushed the wrong marker, obviously. So it's actually Hornets up 4-3. Changed the scoreboard on me as soon as I was
flicking it around, Phil. Big hello to Wayne Stevens there down at Cooey Up. G'day, Wayne.
Oh, this one looks a little bit fast. It'll need a rub. And he gets a rub. Oh. Very... That was lucky, good result.
Did that get the corkscrew then?
Colleen Smith is watching. Shirley Bryant is watching. Beverly Brown. Oh, and Brett Spur is watching. Hi, Brett. Michael Beaton. Paul Whitemans, Neville Bradley, Carl Morgan, Chanel, Robert Lewis, Leanne Walker, Nigel too, plenty, Coffee Jim. Mitch Pepper is watching as well.
So Frankie may pick up 2.
David Shaw, Nambour, Queensland. Philip Spitanic. Phil, soon to be Park Dome, tuning in. So obviously they're getting a roof. Interesting to see if they're getting a Max roof.
Where's Phil calling from? Phil Spatanich? Do you know where he's calling from?
No, I don't. Perhaps Phil could just send us another little message and we'll know where he's... It's to be Park Dome. So that'll be a play on perhaps the suburb or the club.
I can tell you news that Caulfield Elmer are probably due just before Christmas to get theirs.
Yes.
So just some little hurdles to jump over at the moment, but that will pop through.
Caulfield Park. Yes, of course, there you go. And Annette. Hello, Phil. Let's go Hornets. Well, of course, they're Bundoora people as well. We had 2 Bundoora teams. Dialer Stamp was their team. So Caulfield Park, Park Dome, that's obviously what he was referring to.
It's a seesawing match, isn't it, Phil? So. Assisting up there at Caulfield Elmer, putting some cameras in. So giving them all a hand up there, which will be great.
Oh no, they've done a lot of due diligence, I must say. I've had a lot of conversations. They've come down and had a look at our facilities and had some chats with us. In fact, sort of a delegation came down a couple of Saturdays ago to have a good look as well. Tim Gold says, hi Phil, any updates on Hooded Life? Well, I can let you know all of those. I can say that Dylan Fisher is up 12-7 against Graham Spence, Rat Pack. I can tell you they're also up in the 4s. They are winning 7-2 after 6 ends. If you keep watching, we will be, the second half, we're actually swapping the teams over and you'll be able to watch Hooded Life playing their triples match on Rink 1. On the show rink as well.
David Shaw coming in from Nambour. G'day, David. Getting very animated on ring 4.
Oh, thanks, Philip. He's making mention that he's very impressed with the Skyedome operation and the web streaming service. So, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated.
I'd say Frank might have 2 here. 1.
Yeah. Adam Mann has made mention that he's impressed with the way Rise Bud has played in this tournament, with the perception that perhaps the northern suburb teams are far more dominant than the southern, and clearly that Rise Bud have put up a very, very good show, indicating that No, of course, there are some very good bowlers here on the Mornington Peninsula.
Be fair to say they practice up here a bit, Phil, the southern clubs?
Yeah, a lot of them are dual members, so they do come up here. Frankie particularly does love this surface, so and does usually very well. But he's it's probably his toughest opponent for the whole tournament. That's what happens when you get to the pointy end, though, Pete.
Well, that's what the dollars judge. So $5,000 first prize.
Yeah, well, they're a lot more serious, let me tell you. A lot more high fives, and quite a few other people are here supporting as well. So it's excellent to see. As I said, even Ali Forsyth is here watching. Of course, he's the New Zealand international. As Frankie hits the jack, unfortunately takes it across to Adrian's. Scores 13 all. Gee, I tell you, it's a ding-dong battle.
Well, just from a televised perspective, we haven't had a close singles match. This is probably one of the first for the tournament.
Well, they've been excellent heads, let me tell you. Dylan Fisher is now 14-7 against Spence, the Rat Pack. Can tell you Hooded Life are up 8-2 in the fours.
Jeez, Adrian.
Here we have the Hornets in the fours winning 5-3.
Adrian's nailed that last bowl. As Frankie comes
Frankie's coming in with weight. He's looking to take them both out. Oh, and he has. Fantastic bowl. He's gone from 2 down to 2 up. Lovely weighted shot, just nestles in. Now, Adrian needs to probably do the same. He's still got 2 bullets to the Frankie's 1. Oh, I tell you what, it's looking good at this stage. Oh, and it is just changing over. Wow. At least one, possibly 2 shots now.
That one off to the right.
So from 2 down to 2 up to 2 down, and now Frankie's coming in with a dead draw. It is his last bowl. He needs to get it in, and he's drawn it. What a match.
That's great bowling. Great bowling.
Well, again, all he needs to do now is come in and sit on Frankie's bowl or to move the jack slightly. He's just got to be in the area. I tell you what.
Jeez.
Oh, it's just ducking. Will it hold? Oh, almost. Wow, what a match. Weight was perfect for the shot. 1 shot to Frankie, which now takes him to 14-13, 1 shot up.
Geez, that was a nice little end there, Phil. Jeez, Frank. I think it's going to go over the... No, it's coming back in. Just missing.
Good positional bowl though, Pete. So he'll either come on to his and then onto the jack. Change the head. And he literally changed on the mat. It's either that or he gets in behind and covers. Don't get me wrong, it's second shot, but it still leaves it there for the trail. Oh, here it comes.
Wow.
Oh, gee, just misses.
He's not happy. He's not happy either.
No, you almost got it. So, but he's 2 down. What's Frankie doing? He swapped hands.
He's very wide. Will it come back from there, Phil? Jeez, it's working its way back.
Well, whether he's kind of looking... Well, he's kind of put in a blocker. Be interesting to see what happens. Probably change now to the backhand and come into Frankie's bowls, I'd suggest. He's still got another bowl, so if he can disturb the head, he may get a chance at looking at it with his last bowl. Certainly more weight. Here he comes. He needs to hold. Out goes 1. Question was asked. Frankie is holding 1.
That's going to drop in.
Oh, in behind. Very good bowl. Holding 2. Needs to do a dead draw now. No, he's gone wait. He's looking for the jack.
Oh.
He's looking for the jack. He takes it into the ditch for 3. What a bowl.
Probably 2 of the best ends of the tournament so far.
Wow, 2 down to 3 up. Now takes it Hornet 16, Adrian 16, Rosebud 2, Frankie Krislovic 14. Let's have a look over at the 4s. Wait for the measure.
So Hood Life out to 16.8 and doing a bit of damage on the 4s as well at 8.2.
Just waiting to see. At this stage, Hornets are up 6-3 in the 4s, but they are doing some measurement. Wait and see what happens. A very close head. Three shots to Hornets.
Geez, just heading up to 20.
Ooh, takes them to 10-3, I think. We'll wait till they update the scoreboard.
20.
Might not be 8-3. 8-3. They were just waiting on the last measure. So 8-3.
25 to 8 with only 25 minutes left.
Yes, it is. Frankie holding shot at the moment. Oh, close. Dropped.
I think it dropped the right way, Phil.
I think it did. Well, we're doing very good marking, very clear. Frankie bowls, needs to come in. He's looking at sitting the bowl.
Oh, it's found a gap.
And he does for shot. Lovely bowl. Adrian 1 down. wide, looking to sit Frankie's bowl. Of course, they're not allowed to visit the head, so both the singles players are moving right against the side boundaries, trying to get a view at how it is. Frankie's pulling up short here, so I'd suggest it's just the one shot. Yeah, probably about a foot, 12 inches from shot bowl to jack, behind jack. Well, here it comes. Needs to giddy up. Oh, it's pulled
it's
up
fallen short.
It's not a happy man.
I thought it had the momentum there to keep on going, but he's going to go through the gap.
Oh, and he has. And he has. It'll be 2 shots to Frankie.
Oh,
And they'll probably measure
yes.
anyway, just to make sure, because it did touch shot the bowl in front. And on carpet, they do have a tendency to slide when you hit them. Frankie's happy to concede 2 and not 3. Oh, man.
That ties it up again, Phil.
Ties it up again. What a ding-dong battle. Can tell you that Dylan Fisher is up 18-8 in their singles match between Hooded Life and Rat Pack. And also Hooded Life is up 10 shots to 2 in the fours.
Well, also coming up to 7:38, giving us 22 minutes left.
Still enough time for any turnaround at this stage.
Just under and through. Again, thanks to our partners and sponsors tonight, Crowder Community Real Estate, Max Australia, Momentum Gaming, The Resting Touch are down at Nepean Highway, Brighton, and Proab Electrical Services, the power of choice. A scenario, Phil. What if we go to a draw? Just share the points.
Yes, we do. If it's a draw on either of these ends, the question was asked though, what happens if at the end of the match, if the wins are the same, the shot differentials are the same, and then the number of ends won is the same, what happens then? Well, it is then a one-end shootout, Pete, where all 5 players bowl 1 bowl. Oh, beautiful bowl there by Adrian. Now Frankie will.
Oh, no.
Well, Frankie doesn't want to get upset because I can honestly tell you, if it does upset him, it does affect his bowls.
Oh, that upsets him, Phil. I'm not sure.
Well, hasn't really. I'm going to have to tell Frankie. Wait, turn me off. Turn me off.
Well, high stakes, Phil. Very high stakes.
Just focus on their bowls.
16 all with 19 minutes left. Good width, Phil. Good. Doesn't want to push that other one on.
Oh, no, it's still safe.
How you feel? I would call that.
So it's just some chat out there on the mat. As, we might drop the microphone there, but we'll call that at 1-1. Frank will pick up the shot there, and that'll take it to 17-16. As we pan around and just have a look at the scoreboard there. Yeah, definitely 17-16. I can tell you in the fours, it is currently the Hornets 12-3, and game over in the singles. Hooded Life have taken it out 21. Sorry, as I just put a reverse angle on. Hooded Life have taken it out 21-8. That was Dylan Fisher against Graham Spence. And I can also tell you that in the fours, the Rat Pack are 4. As Frank comes in now. Just undercut and side. Bowl distance, probably 2 bowl distances behind the jack there. Does look very narrow, but side on view, it's nearly 2.5 bowls lengths. Geez, nice. Well, right, I can tell you Hooded Life in the fours are currently leading 10-4. So, as Frank pushes that out to get 3. So again, creeping up to around 7:45 with 15 minutes left. So narrows it down to 1. Paul just having a look. Well, she's saying a measure. Frank comes in, well, it's shoot under. It's holding its line there, isn't it? It might dispose of Adrian's bowl. It does. So 2 bowls there. Adrian, I'd say, might go the backhand. Wow. Jeez, that'll give him 3 there. Definitely 3. Just having a look and waiting for Adrian to come down. He's calling 3 there. Geez, great back there. Unbelievable shot from Graham. Fantastic effort. Phil just popping out and have a help and measure there. So a long measure coming in. I think Adrian has shot. As Phil goes in the toolbox. Seen that for a while, a three-person measure. Again, keep the comments coming through when ready for next Thursday night for the grand final. Tom Graham and Gary Ingley. So the call's been made. So 3 shot stands. And if anything, it's probably pushed out the clock around 3 or 4 minutes. So just some more added pressure there. Here comes the bell. That nearly pushed Adrian to the spill as he jumps back on the mat again, looking for the forehand. Just coming in short. I think Frank might be a bit narrow there. Yeah, that's cut across. Just got to concentrate here. Adrian comes in behind there, probably about 1 metre to 1.5 metres long. Just falling short. Change to the backhand there from Adrian. Nice little push here would be handy. I think he's just going to sneak around though. He has. Jeez. It'll give him 2 there with 8 minutes left. As Frank gets straight off the mat. He's veered across. Narrow and short. Well, it's in an ominous position as Frank comes in. Oh, wow. Might have minimised the damage. It's definitely 1. Oh, he's going to concede. Yep, he's conceded 2 shots, so that'll take it to 21 and match. So, good result there with a couple of minutes left. We'll take it to the main scoreboard and give you some updates as we fly along there. So the Hornets take out the singles, 21-17. I can tell you that Hooded Life have taken out their singles, 21-8 against the Rat Pack. And the Hooded Life are currently leading 10-4, with the Hornets also leading 12-6. So definitely 2 wins, which means both respective sides, Risebud and the Rat Pack, will have to come back and do some work and get a margin as well. So probably an easier job for Risebud with a deficit there of 10 shots. But if you're a Rat Pack supporter, they're currently, what's that, 13 and 6. They're currently down 19 shots. So lots of work to do there. Again, coming up to 5 to 8, as you can see on the scoreboard there. We'll just wait for the bell to ring. And we might have a look at some matches. So just finalising some scores there. We can see some live action coming. so 11-4. Also seeing with that rise boat going down 6-16 and rise boat going down in the singles 17-21. Wouldn't life though clear winners with their singles 21-8 and in the fours 11-4. So last bowl's coming in. As we just see Hornets bowl coming into screen very shortly. So as we pop back the screen there, I can see there Lee Williams coming in with the last bowl on the green for this half of the session. And it looks to be 2 shots there. So that will conclude. So first half all finished. We're going to take you to a great interview with Phil Crowder and Samantha Atkinson that was recorded earlier. We hope you enjoyed that. Be back at around 8:30 for second half of action. Hope you join us then.
Okay, folks, welcome back to Bowling Between the Bays, the show made by bowlers for bowlers on the Mornington Peninsula. And can I say I'm very proud, or we are very proud, Peter, to have Samantha Atkinson, who is now the reigning Australian Indoor Ladies Champion. And congratulations, Samantha, and welcome to our show.
Thanks, Bill and Pete. It's great to be here.
Yeah. It was an absolute delight to be up at the Australian Indoors and watch you play there with my partner Lonesy, and we watched pretty well all your matches, and the support was wonderful. What a great experience! And I know your expectations would have been high. Did you imagine that you'd be holding up the glassware at the end of it all?
Absolutely not. I mean, you can always dream, and it certainly was on my list of aspirations to achieve at some point. Did I think it was going to happen last week? Absolutely not. Looking at some of the big names and some of the players that I was up against last week, my goal was just to make a semi-final. So to come away being the champion is absolutely surreal and beyond belief. It's a dream come true.
Well, I have to say, I believe it's the culmination of a pretty successful last 12 months. So as we've come out of COVID, you've sort of exploded out of the blocks. And in saying that, well, there is a swimming background, isn't there?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Jeez, Bill.
I like that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your swimming background, because obviously you've had a competitive nature, and it's fair to say that type of devotion certainly has assisted you as far as your bowls career has gone so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was born with tenacity and competitive will in my blood. I took up swimming because I was terrible at it to start with, would you believe? And my parents bribed me with Barbies to even sort of, get me to put my face in and blow bubbles. But about a decade later, my goal was to make the nationals and go to the 2012 Olympic trials. And after hard work and dedication, that was what I was able to achieve. But I guess in hindsight, had I had my time again, there was a lot of time and devotion that I put into swimming. And while I was, very pleased with the outcome, if I had my time again, I wish I had to put that into another sport such as lawn bowls, because it's certainly, it's given me lots of skills, particularly on the mental side, and resilience and lots of other wonderful things that it's taught me. It's meant that I've picked up bowls a little bit later than perhaps I would have liked to.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you're still young enough, obviously. You're under 30 years of age. We won't go into exact things, but you unfortunately missed the under 18 type lead in like so many other younger people do. So I suppose that's what you're touching on, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I was lucky enough. They still had the under 25s when I started. So I did get one go at the under 25 state championship. And there were some beautiful people like Kylie Whitehead and others that I'd met through that process and kind of started the competition for me. Really glad that I had that opportunity. But yeah, I mean, the world's your oyster if you start in the under 18s.
Oh, great. All right. Well, let's go back a little bit. So most people might know where you actually originally started. So you come from the Gippsland area. Your parents owned a cattle property or properties, and so you went through that. My research shows that you also showed some cattle and things like that. So you would have been very hands-on with all of those, learning about everything as well, which also gives you a good background. My understanding is it's a real family affair, and it goes further back than just mum and dad, so Mark and Cheryl. Apparently your brother has a bit of an interest or started perhaps in bowls, and that's Corey.
Yep.
But also goes back to your grandparents as well.
Yeah, my granddad, who is has not been able to play sort of the last 12 months just due to physical well-being. But yeah, he was probably the one that really started the whole process. And I guess that's probably why I got into it. Granddad was playing, mum and dad were playing, my brother, like you said, has been interested. I've had an uncle and other family members involved. And for me, that very first year of Pennant, I was on the green playing with granddad and mum and dad in Pennant, and then in later years being able to all of us be in the same Pennant side. So that for me is what initially started the passion, being able to play with your family.
Yeah, no, exactly. I noticed that obviously you play for or came from the Druin Club, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah, that's right. And you obviously play with your mum a fair bit as well. And that culminated, and we'll touch on that a little bit, with a state title, didn't it? And that was lovely to see, because I think Lonesy and I were also present there when you probably won that one as well. So we'll go to the list of achievements and we can touch on those a little bit more. But the thing that I'm very interested in is when I first saw you was Dave Allen and I spoke to him only today, and he's the one who writes for Inside Bowls. He's the editor-in-chief. And I remember he said, look, I'm going down to Gippsland. I'm going to interview, in my opinion, the next best thing since sliced bread. He said, I'm going down to see this young Samantha Atkinson. And when he came back, he was nothing but singing your praises, and then said that he phoned me and said, look, you'll get a phone call from Samantha, and she'd like to have a roll-up and practice, because our club was lucky enough to have a state test. And you wanted to be down here and practice on it before others did. So you're obviously really, really focused on wanting to do your best for that particular test series as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so appreciative to Kringle and yourself, Phil, for letting me come down. I think there was a handful of times I came down. We even had a roll against each other in the lead up to that Tassie big test. Kringle last year. Yeah, it's great.
Now, the other dedication is when we look at it, you did have a stint with a Metro club, didn't you, Caulfield Alma? And there are a couple of players who I've spoken with, Graham Spencer, Sammy McNeil, if you can ever understand the man. But Loney does. She's my interpreter, which is really good. In fact, if you get him to sing, you can actually hear him quite clearly. It's great. So tell me, you obviously wanted to do that to see if you could improve your bowls. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We had the opportunity. It was mum, dad, and myself. All of us went down to Caulfield Park Elma for the year, and we were actually all playing in the same rink in Premier League. And that year, I guess, really was the first year where we saw bowls at a different level, a more competitive Metro Pennant level. And I guess that's, what kind of sparked a lot of sort of fire in my belly, so to speak. So, really grateful for that opportunity, and now looking forward to sort of joining the big sticks again, with Richmond Union being in Premier Reserve this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I did see that. So is there any sort of mentors or of a like that will be at Richmond Union?
Absolutely. I have already connected with Barry Lester a few times. He's a fellow Aero teammate, and looking forward to working with him at Richmond Union, as well as a few others. There's, Sarah and Scooter and Hampo and others that I'd known just from playing around the traps, and really looking forward to playing with them this coming season.
Yeah, look, I could see after the Australian Indoors when you won, there was a connection with Barry, and I know you got on the phone to Walter, so we will touch on that. Obviously, it is a sponsor. You're sponsored by Aero, and those bowls did extremely well. What bowls did you use again?
They were the Turbo Pros. They were a brand new set. I'd had them a couple of weeks, and it was the first tournament. So they came out all right.
No, they did very, very well. The other thing is, I just want to touch on you, and I did read that you also, was it Deer Park that you went to also, or Sunbury, was it, where you went to do some extra work and training and coaching?
Sunbury. So shout out to Mark Cowan. I met Mark about 3 years ago now at City Country, and it was there that we kind of formed a relationship. He kind of offered coaching to a few of us that attended, and I've had the absolute pleasure of being able to go down and see him the last couple of years, and I absolutely have only praise to give Mark. My growth the last couple of years has been absolutely exponential, and that is absolutely due to his wonderful volunteering and coaching and mentoring. I wouldn't be where I was today if it wasn't for him, so shout out.
And Samantha, I almost said Sam. I'd be in big trouble if I said that. Sammy or Samantha? Oh, okay. I want to let all the viewers know that, it's all this sort of coaching isn't just about your delivery or bowling itself. A lot more of that, and clearly you could see that, was your focus, the mental aspect of it as well, wasn't it? So what other things did he teach you? And it's important that bowlers do understand that that's the case. What else is there that he taught you?
Mark's been really crucial in two kind of main components. The first would be the delivery. He's quite specific in some key points and kind of gets a camera out and we go through piece by piece. But the other point is reading heads and shot calls. Up until the last couple of years, I was, doing my foundations as a lead and focusing on my draw. But of the last sort of 2 or 3 years, I have been playing backhand and learning to read heads and play different shots and knowing exactly which is the right shot or the percentage shot and being able to assess risk versus reward and, lots of other different things was something that was quite new to me and something that, Mark's been absolutely crucial in, teaching me. So thank you.
Yeah, and I think that certainly came to the fore in the indoors where there were certain shots, and it's always interesting sitting on the side because it's it's easy to bowl and think about which way you should go when you're sitting on the sidelines, but there were some crucial ends where you could quite clearly see that you were doing exactly that. What is the risk? What is the benefit? And then playing the shot. I mean, it's one thing to think, it's another thing to bowl it, but I mean, pretty well. Yeah, you were sorting that out, which is fantastic. All right, look, the only other thing I will say is that it was interesting that when you were playing, you were certainly bopping away to the music, doing a fair bit of lip syncing and some moves. So tell me, was that something that you just did to relax? I mean, you were very understanding. You certainly stopped all of that when the bowler was on the mat and all those sort of things. So you were very respectful in that regard. But was that something that you just naturally did to help with your to relax during the game?
Yeah, good question. I've seen quite a few comments float around this one. It was a deliberate part of my game plan. There's been elements of my game that I've been working on over the last couple of years. In particular, dealing with increased heart rate and all those things when you step on the green and you're excited, or dealing with nerves or other things. So for me, it was a deliberate act to try and stay calm, stay in the moment, enjoy what I'm doing. And I know that I put down my best bowls when, I'm singing along to music and having a good time. So that was definitely deliberate, and I guess it paid off.
It did. And look, there are some people there who are a little their little comments saying something else. But, you know, I'm glad you said that, and I wanted to clear that because clearly I could see that that was the sole purpose for doing it. The other thing is that, are you aware there's a Samantha Atkinson over in England that won the X Factor in Britain?
Oh, she's a singer. Yes, I did know that.
There you go.
I can't
Well,
sing.
clearly it wasn't you, but I just saw that. We might just throw something in there on the clip when we do that. All right, let's get to your last year and the things that have happened. Clearly, you sort of left your Caulfield Alma and the tyranny of distance and all of that. You were back down in Gippsland, and then you did extremely well in the regionals, didn't you? As far as that, so what sort of things? There were 4 elements that I think you won. Is that correct?
Yeah. So not this last state champs week, the one prior. Yeah, I got through. I'd never been to a state champs before. I'd never won a regional title, but was lucky enough to win 4 in my very first year. Of which the results was a gold in the triples, a semi-finalist in the singles and the mixed pairs, and then a quarter-finalist in the fours. So yeah, an awesome outcome for my very first state champs week. And then when we went off to nationals, we were 1 shot off making the gold medal match.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, very, very close but no cigar. So hoping this year, now that we're going with mum again in the pairs and mum and Maureen Leighton, Cutter's mum in the triples, hoping to go one better this year and hopefully get another nationals title in Perth in October.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, now tell me, you're clearly a person who does goal setting. All right. Okay. I think you might have nailed one of them recently. All right. And you are in the Vic team. All right. What is your goals?
I guess
what are your goals?
The ultimate goal for me is to play for Australia. So in a roundabout way, I've actually kind of achieved that. I'm very much looking forward to representing Australia next year in Guernsey in April. But for me, this coming November when they announce, the pathway squads with Bowls Australia, it would absolutely be a dream of mine to be listed as either an emerging or a pathway jackaroo. Welcome any of those conversations or any opportunities to make that happen in the near future.
And the reality is you've dedicated yourself now to bowls. I mean, we spoke off air. You did have a job, but you have actually resigned from that to focus on this goal. And we were talking about how you get a window of opportunity in your life every now and then. And by crikey, you've seen a gap and you're actually going for it, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's fantastic news. All right. Sorry, Pete.
Samantha, with your bowls, I've seen you taking up sport all across the realm. You've done snowboarding, swimming. I've seen a bit of netball there. What is the attraction with bowls? I know it's a bit of family in there, but what spurs you on with bowls?
Yeah, really good question. Thanks for asking, Pete. For me, I believe it or not, you're right. I love playing any sport or game or anything that kind of challenges you. For me, it's like chess in terms of the strategy and being able to move the pieces where you want to move them, but then the moves and those shots. It's really challenging. It's fun. It's sociable. It's for all ages. You can bowl with your family. You can represent Australia. What isn't there to love about bowls, really?
No,
that's great news, and yeah, you're doing a fantastic job out there.
Okay, just what's in your diary for till the end of the year?
For me now, I'm focusing on, we've got VBL this coming Friday at Dandenong Club. I'm representing the Melbourne Storm. Shout out to those girls. Hopefully we go well. And then in a couple of weeks, we're flying over to WA for a Vic WA test. The Nationals is then shortly thereafter, as well as the Australian champs with the team that I mentioned before, pairs and triples. And simultaneously, we'll be jumping into Pennant. Looking forward to returning to Premier League with Richmond Union. And then, who knows what is on thereafter.
So what's the one you're playing with Lyonsy? Because I've got to tell you, she's absolutely pinching herself that you've asked her to play. Let me tell you.
Yeah, there's a Moama Prestige pairs. I'm absolutely stoked to be playing that with Loans. That's in a few weeks as well, up at Moama.
Well, it's just as well you don't have a job. I don't think anyone would give you all that time off, do you think? Now, the only other thing is that you're also engaged. Is that correct?
Correct.
Wow. And is that a fairly recent thing?
We actually were engaged in January this year, and we
Yeah.
weren't intending a long engagement, but just, life takes over and we had taken our time to kind of find a date. We had actually set a date, which was the 27th of April, and sent all our save the dates out. It now turns out that we'll be in Guernsey for the 21st to the 27th of April. So we are currently in the process of looking to try and reschedule the wedding.
Look, that's fantastic. And look, it looks as though you had a wonderful time going through Europe as well. So you did have a little bit of a break from bowls.
Yeah. It's I think it's important to get that balance and make sure that you're doing other things that actually keeps your mind fresh. I did put in a lot of hours on the green before and after that trip. But yeah, absolutely love taking a break and enjoying and smelling the roses while you can as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Sammy, look, we don't want to take up any more of your very busy time by the sounds of it, but we really appreciate you coming on and having a chat to our listeners, and they get a far greater insight into the drive that you require to be a top level bowler, and also to know that, you know what, you're a nice chick too. So thanks very much.
That's lovely, Phil. I really appreciate you guys having me on the show, and also yourself and Loans for being there and supporting me last week. It means the world to me to be able to look into the crowd and see some smiley faces looking back and cheering me on. So yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Samantha. Goodbye.
Thanks, Sam. Bye. Well, that was it. Great interview there with Samantha Atkinson and Phil Crowder. Fantastic to get over. We're just getting ready for a start here. So we'll have details shortly. Change of rinks. We'll have we'll just pan around and have a look at the matches on check for this afternoon. Sorry. As we get our details ready. We'll have the Rat Pack versus Hooded Life, and I'm pretty sure that we've got the pairs. They're just coming out now to their positions. As we just flick over the screen there. So it'll be the Rat Pack, the triples versus Hooded Life, and then on rink 3 it'll be the pairs. And then moving off to rinks 4 and 5, we'll see Risebud take on the Hornets. So both teams in particular, Rat Pack and Risebud, have to do some work if they are to mount a comeback. So between 12 and 16, 17 shots behind, they will have to do a lot of work to come back. So we're just getting some movement there. We're hoping our players will abide by, we'll call it the backside rule, and keep out of the way of the head. So we get a good idea of what's happening on all sides. Again, first end is worth just one shot. So Hooded Life, they're ready to go. As Terry Ann Jones is watching. G'day, Terry. And we'll just grab some details for you, just so you know who is on. And so the Rat Pack in the triples will be Clark Wilson, Tom Ristich and Chris Owen, and for Hooded Life it will be Fisher, Biles and Stud, And in the pairs for Hooded Life, it'll be the two Simmons, and they'll be up against the Rat Pack, which will be Graham Spence and Ron Dalton. I can tell you in other matches, it'll be the Hornets. In the pairs will be Damien Barnes and Nathan Mills. And in the triples for the Hornets, it will be Wayne Barnes, Adrian Marcholi and Caleb Shaw, and they'll be up against the Rat Pack in the pairs for Frankie Krusalovic, Joey Turner, and in the triples, Steve Williams, Paul Trouty and Lee Williams. So action coming very shortly. Stay tuned. We'll get you some details as we fly around. So for a shot at pretty much a shot for $8,500, folks. So $5,000 first prize, $3,500 for second, and that'll take you back to third and fourth, which will get you a chance at $1,500. So it should be an interesting match. As we can see, contestants warming up there in the background. Again, first match is going the way, both matches in the 6:30 to 8 o'clock slot going to Hooded Life against Rat Pack. And then the Hornets in both matches over Rosebud. Rightio, so folks, get ready for a start. We're just about to get going. Any dramas or any comments, please put them through on the Halftime Heroes Facebook page. And just to go over those again, Rat Pack will be Clark Wilson, Tom Ristich and Chris Owen. And we're up against Hooded Life. This will be Studsy, Scotty Bile and Dylan Fisher. Very nice, good start off. Nice reply, just a touch short. Looks to have the shot there, but I can tell you side on view it doesn't. Clark Wilson there, that'll get him two. Bit of weight. Jesus, going to come in. We'll take one out. Again, 10 o'clock shut off there. Bit narrow, might cut across the front. Lifting a bit of weight there, just pushing through. Tipping that might go ditch bound, might hold up. It does. Never know, could come in handy. So as the two skips head down south, it'll be Chris Owen with Dylan Fisher. They're holding a bit of weight there. Will it turn in? Might be a bit late. Just cuts across the front. So we'll just update the scoreboards there for you, but it'll be and Hoodie Life taking So we'll just give you some updates around the rink at the moment. Tom with his shot now. Of course, both Rat Pack and Rosebud will have to win both matches, and with a healthy margin as well. Hooded Life in this match here, and as we just get through, and Hooded Life and the Hornets in the box seat at the moment, but as we know, anything can happen. Chris Owen. Nice line. Coming in where Tom wants it. One. So probably a great start, Rat Pack require. So let's there is Clark Wilson puts down. No score update yet on the pairs. I suspect they haven't been counting as yet. I can tell you that Rosebud have taken out a 4-0 lead in the triples and are currently trailing in the pairs. Good shot there from Clark. Picture of concentration there as he comes in. Gary Ingley, how are you travelling? Good to have everyone back. Good to see the numbers come back as well. Sorry, I'll just get that up to speed there. Nice, very nice. All the best, Sammy. Take it easy, mate. Take it easy. Fair bit of vocals going on at the moment, which is great. Oh, turning in nicely. Just hold off the pace. Wow, great bowl, great bowl. Tom now just pushes it through. Wow. I think he's just got the count on that. Tommy will be pretty wrapped with that one. Surprised he hasn't walked past and asked me for a replay. Long way off. Chris and Dylan heading down to the southern end. Chris pretty game tonight wearing the shorts. Bit of a chill out there at the moment. Good positive comments there from Tommy as Dylan comes in now. Not much advantage there.
Still only one. It could go there still. It could go there. If he plays onto that, it could lose it. Yeah, all right. Try and block it up.
So just looking at the head there, it's probably 2 bowls in front of the jack is the first place. Looks there, look a bit deceiving us. Oh, he does. Oh, crikey. Will it fall over? Will it fall over? So great shot there from Chris Owen.
Definitely one down on the spot.
So Dylan 2. Jeez, it's coming in. It's nicely coming in. Wow, he got it. They're going to have a look. They're just measuring. They're not the trusting type, are they? None of them trust each other. It was a great bowl there from Dylan to take that out. So they're going to have a measure. Potentially could take it to 2-all. As the UFC referee walks back into the commentating position.
How are we going, Pete?
Oh, it's better than you, Phil.
All good. All good.
All sorted, everything calm, collective.
All right, so can I go through the results? Let's talk about bowls. All right, so what we had at the end of the first session was that we obviously had Rosebud lose in the singles, so they have a -4 shot differential and had 10 ends. The Hornets also had 10 ends, but of course were +4. So at the end of that, then we also then look at the fours, and unfortunately Rosebud also had a loss there with a -8. So at this stage they have a -12 differential, and they're 2 games down. So they need to win both of these, plus make up the 12 shot differential.
That's a big ask.
Yeah, it's a very big ask. We then look at the game between Rat Pack and Hooded Life, and we can see there that Rat Pack both lost both their matches, with a shot differential between the 2 matches of -19. So basically they have to win both and make up the 19. So really at this stage it'd have to be major turnarounds, but it would appear to be Hornets against Hooded Life at this stage, playing off for first and second, and remembering those that lose will be playing off for third and fourth, Peter.
Clark Wilson up on the mat now. I tell you what, Phil, the good bowls has continued on to this match as well.
Yeah, well, that's good. I just thought it was worthwhile swapping the teams around so both teams actually got some coverage on air, and a few of these teams are actually sponsored. Obviously Hooded Life is Todd Simmons clothing manufacturing, sports manufacturing wear and other merchandise as well, and we have Rat Pack. Rat Pack apparently did very well at Deer Park, actually won their fours, beating some very high quality teams there only on the weekend. So Chris Owen's team are pretty chuffed about that. Just thought it would be worthwhile, rather than just doing the singles and pairs of the same team, to swap it around and give all of the players. Tommy Ristic bowling there, of course, well known bowler. Was at Melbourne, but has now moved. But he only came back last week representing Victoria in the over 60s, so a state rep as well. Had a roll up with him just before the match and saw the big V stickers on his bowls. So they're still adorning his
Phil,
white green lines.
If you earn it, show them off.
Why wouldn't you? Oh, Scotty just going through.
We've been lucky. We've covered Tom probably about, there's some other competitions. I think I've covered him down at Somerville as well, so probably about 4 or 5 competitions.
Yes.
A couple of times at the Dandenong Club, a couple of times down at Somerville.
Yeah, he gets around.
So, good competitor.
Yes, indeed.
He's been placed on DEFCON 5. Yeah, see, they already know, Phil.
Do they?
There's a little...
They're clearing. Oh, yes, now they do.
There's a
well,
little...
that's Scotty telling them how to do it. That's excellent.
That's a little magnetic strip there that just tells them.
It looks like Hooded Life have moved away in the pairs too, up 5-1. Over on rink 4, we see Rosebud are up 5-1 in their triples match, but are down 1-3 in the pairs match.
And they're looking for a margin of about 14, 15?
Yes, as I said, the score, the shot differential is quite large, so it is. Let's have a look. Rosebud -4, yeah, -12. They need to make up.
Chris Owen now.
20th Aug doesn't like it straight away. He goes, nope, thinks it's wide. And he is. Quite hear the call. How many were down?
I think it may have been 2, Phil.
2 or 3, I'm not quite sure. Just wait for the scoreboard.
Marvellous thing to have a secondary scoreboard. See some scores there up on the screen, folks, as we just pan around. No update coming. I think the scorers might have the bowl scorer down here.
How many down? How many down? Pass.
Oh,
It was
there you
one
go.
shot to. It was one shot to Hooded Life.
Oh, Hooded Life.
Okay, so they moved them. I think the main scoreboard is up to date. Yep, 3-2 on 4.
So Phil, a great interview there with Samantha Atkinson. Went through a lot of positive responses there, so great. We'll chuck that interview up straight after the completion of the show, and it'll be there solo. So anyone wanting to have a great listen to Samantha Atkinson, great in-depth interview with Phil. So please join. Clark Wilson now coming in with his bowl. As we just click up to 9 o'clock, which gives us 60 minutes left in bowl time. There, great shot. Great shot from Clark.
Ronnie, same shot with the jerk you had before. Same shot, you touch the jerk, it's good. Hitting the same target. Big one. Come on, Scotty. Try here, mate. Scotty.
Nice shot.
Mate. On you, Bell.
Dylan pulling it in and calling it.
Awesome, Wade. 2 down, good bowl, mate.
Tom Ristich now comes in.
You're a bowl short, mate. Turn yours.
Again, thanks to our sponsors tonight. If we didn't have those, we wouldn't have a competition. And I have the people that bang on, what about all the ads on the side there, but they support the competition, and it's worthy of us to display their names, and that's of course Crowded Community Real Estate, Macmax Roofing Australia, Momentum Gaming, the Resting Toucher down at Nepean Highway, Brighton, and of course ProAb. Really great to have you on board. As the skips go down to the southern end. Still a large contingent in the clubhouse here, so great to have a good house. A lot of people, surprisingly enough, ordered takeaways tonight, so very interesting. Again, food on next week for the finals, folks, so jump in. As Dylan comes in with his bowl now. Just needs to hold down. Signal goes up for 2. As Chris looks to compensate there. Just keep an eye on it.
You're in the park, mate. You're a good split.
Jeez, it's hold its line too. Wow. Dylan choosing the backhand. Just have to do some work to get in behind.
Come on, buddy. You're in the park again, Chris. Come on, turn off.
It is. There.
Great pearls, mate.
Jeez.
Good, Chris. Well played, mate.
That is fantastic bowling from Chris Owen.
Great bowls, mate.
Oh, we're going coast to coast, folks. So, first time tonight we've seen both ends of the rink used. We'll give you an update shortly at the completion of this end. As Clark Wilson now comes in. Just needs a bit more distance. Falling short by about a metre and a half. Phil spending a bit of time near the bar just to calm everything down.
Oh dear. I did order a couple of drinks, Pete.
Just goes in the pit.
But of obviously the non-alcoholic variety for us. How things been going? Still very close, I see.
Jeez, yeah, the Rat Pack are making a bit of a charge here.
Yeah.
On the previous end, picked up 2 shots.
Yes. So they're up 4-3. And over in the pairs, however, they're down 7-1.
I hear violins, Phil.
And we have we have the father and son. We have young Jet Simmons playing with Todd. There you go, and non-alcoholic beverages have arrived, Pete.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't know you're allowed to drink and commentate at the same time, Phil.
It's all right when it's lemonade.
Lemonade. Well, your waters look okay, so...
All right, so Tommy Ristic on the mat with his distinctive stance.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, very. And delivers.
I've got to correct you, Phil. It's wrist itch. He's an itch like me, Phil.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Gee, there are plenty of these itches around.
They're everywhere. We're going to start a football side soon, Mitch.
I think you can.
Jakovic.
Well, my brother-in-law's an itch. Stanovich.
There's itches everywhere. Stanovich, jeez.
Yeah.
It's from the homeland.
May have a property on an island off the coast of Croatia too, mate.
Yeah,
Tell you what, there you go.
Notice the foot position on the mat, Phil. Steps out wide on the...
He does. He does also leave his takes his foot off the mat as he delivers, but it is above the mat. We had that discussion only
Jeez, he's got
Tuesday
it too.
night, didn't we?
Now that's a hooded life bowl just in the picture there.
Okay.
Scott comes in.
Hasn't got the legs. Probably finishes in a little bit of a nasty place, but no. My gut feeling is he'll come up with a little bit of weight. Will Chris Owen, looking in underneath to set the shot bowl. Problem is to come in under the bowl in front. He is going to have to come up with a little bit of weight. So I think he'll be looking at the shot bowl, or he may well, if depending on the weight, he could.
He's gearing up for something.
Yeah, no, he's gone heavyweight. Here we go. Oh, and takes it out.
How precise. That's a great shot.
If someone's going to draw it, it'll be Dylan Fisher, I dare say. Beautiful delivery.
Ending up
He's
short.
asking, Scotty's trying to push it on, push it on, push it on, and I think you find it is. Maybe just Tommy checking. So it's a measure, it's the call. Oh, I don't know if he has the weight. Has he got the weight?
I don't think.
No, he hasn't. And he's left the shot door open for Dylan.
That's a fairly big door there, Phil, isn't it?
Well, it is for the likes of Dylan Fisher, I'd suggest, but we're all human. Oh, he's saying slow down. He's a little bit worried about the pace of it. No, I don't think it's an overcorrection. He should be happy with it. Sort of gave the hand gesture of down, down, slow down, and there you go. It's a toucher. So beautiful bowl. Move the jack across, so it could only be one, and one's the call. So Hooded Life now up to 4, so 4 all. Over in the pairs, Rat Pack is down 2-7 to Hooded Life. Let's have a look at the other matches that are going on. Over Risebud, down 4-5, only 1 in the pairs. Risebud are actually up in the triples, 7-3, but of course they've got to make up quite a large score differential.
Yep, bit of work to do there. Down 4-5 in the pairs, Phil.
Yeah, well the big thing there, unfortunately, was in their fours, unfortunately. Where they did go down by 8 shots, so that's a lot to make up, plus 4 shots so in the singles, so that's a 12-shot negative differential they have to make up, not only just win both matches.
And Phil, any bowls on the cards here at Kringle tomorrow?
Friday night. No, we do have a birthday party here tomorrow night, and that part of the season is starting to pick up with plenty of inquiries coming in. So have about 30 people taking advantage of our bistro meals here, and so that party will be here plus doing bowls. So about 30 bowlers. So I'll be busy doing that tomorrow night.
Barefoot bowls soon to kick in?
Kicks in as soon as daylight savings kicks in, Pete, and we'll put the sign out and we'll go from there.
Years popped along pretty quick. It's we're tipping the end of August at the moment. So yeah, it's probably only about 5 weeks till daylight. So 5 to 6 weeks till daylight savings.
Yes, well, we're starting to get inquiries for Christmas parties, corporate breakups, things like that. So we can certainly do that now that we have the catering in the kitchen. And tonight was an example of that, where there was some excellent meals, massive massive lasagna for only $12. Quite a few people didn't even finish that. And then there was beer battered fish and chips, and there was also a roast, which I had with plenty of vegetables. So I had the healthy option. Needed to after my trip away, Pete, I have to tell you.
There's heavy talk of dietitians involved, Phil.
Yes, well,
Maybe a bit too much food over up at the Goldie.
yes, well, it was at Tweed Heads and it was very enjoyable. Then a wedding at Magnetic Island didn't help.
Ooh. Haven't been to Magnetic Island for around 20 years.
A lovely place to be. He's a good bowl. Yes, in off.
Yeah, inside.
In shot. Good bowl. Good bowl. Good battle this. Some quality players here. It's been a good night too, I have to say. The wind at a minimum.
I'm not sure if Anthony's saying we're silky or just silky. So, silky commentary, boys. Thanks for the updated scores. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks for your support with Pro-Am.
Shot, mate, well done.
Jeez.
A good hit.
Play here. Just get under that. Just get under that. To there.
Okay, here we go. There's another bullet. It's going to cross the head.
Might get a ricochet.
Let's just say that, well, the good thing is his weight was good. See if he can make the alteration. Needs the target. He can look for the jack or the shot bowl. Now, Dylan's job will most likely be to try to cover that jack or to move the jack. Change the head. Doesn't want to fatten it. So he's trying to come in, I think, probably he was trying to look at around, but he's going to come in under. Okay, takes it a little bit. Okay, so I said the weight was good, and the call is weight is good, so he's now looking. Let's see if his mate, he stands up pretty quick, as in it's narrow. Gee, it's holding. It's holding, he liked it, no, but then it bent again, might get a wick.
Oh.
No, it'll be one down.
Yeah.
Dylan gives the call, that's all we need to do. Just get one. As he strides down to the other end.
We're going coast to coast. No, we're going up. Didn't mind the longer.
Going the green dot. And those that are new, there are 3 different dots there. There's a yellow dot on the tee. Halfway up the line is a green dot, and out in front is a red dot. Both Matt and Jack need to go on the same coloured dots.
I'll tell you what, Phil, Risebud making a bit of a run. 7-4 in the triples and 8-5 in the pairs.
Wow.
So
There you
that's a 6 shot. They probably just need another 7
Yep.
shots.
Well, game on. We'll keep an eye on that match.
Well, yes, I think we certainly will.
More ways than one.
Again, great to have the crowds coming back after and maintaining throughout the 3 hours. Oops, sorry about that, folks. We'll just cross over there now. Again, special thanks to the Morning Peninsula News Group who are taking on our vision and sound tonight, which is great. There's Clark Wilson up on the mat now. Uh-oh.
Oop,
Yeah.
now he realises.
Is that
Out of the way.
Yeah.
Those buzzers in the pocket seem to be working.
Oh, so, yeah, there's somewhere there. And Phil, most of the Hooded Life boys from Clayton.
Yes, correct. Cobras. And needs to turn. Can we get a chance, Pete? Let's just check where our viewers are from. I always like doing that.
Hold on, let me.
Crossing the head. Not happy with that.
Big reach tonight, nearly 6,000 people reach, which is fantastic.
That is fantastic.
If we go to the
There's the skip straight up to the head. Oh, plenty of bandit.
I can tell you, Phil, our coverage on Tuesday night attracted well over 13,500 people. Wow. And that's with the coverage on this particular channel, also Vimeo, Facebook, Vimeo, YouTube, and Morning's Peninsula News Group, which is fantastic.
That is amazing.
Well, a friend from Iraq has disappeared off the map, Phil.
Really? So he's not there?
He's not
Let's
there.
have a look. We've got Melbourne, Bendigo, Geelong, Gold Coast. Looks like 2 from Hayfield, so that's most likely the Whites again. We've got Pakenham, we've got Traralgon, we've got Sale, we've got Calgary in Canada, we've got Tyres in Victoria, Tyers.
Not Lake Ties, is it?
I don't know. I really don't.
Must
And
have
we'll look at the countries.
No, he's still there.
No, he's there. Our friend from Iraq is there. New Zealand again, United States, South Africa, Pakistan, Fiji, United Kingdom is up with 5, Canada with 5, none from Scotland, Pete.
No, well, they tuned as soon as Sammy left. They all tuned out. So interesting.
Right.
So Hooded Life taking the mat again.
Nah, you had one wrong. It was it hit the front and hoped it went through the others.
So 7-4 now is the score in favour of Hooded Life. And they are winning also the pairs 8-4, so it's moved up a bit. Over in the other battle between Rosebud and Hornets, Rosebud is up 8-4 and winning. And in the pairs, Rosebud is winning 10-5. So that's a 5. That's 9 shots, and they need to make up.
13 shots to win.
Yes, they need 13 shots to win.
There's a little freight train going on over there.
And the shots differential, oh boy. Imagine if it comes down to ends. And if the ends are equal, please, then it goes to a one-end shootout where all 5 bowlers bowl one bowl. That'll be interesting. Plenty of time though, Pete.
Well, it's just clicked over 20 past 9, so that leaves 40 minutes. Getting a couple of requests for the Vimeo links. I'll post that to the page as well. Of course,
Scotty Bowles book with his Sydney bowls, comes in, set the bowl.
interesting leader news reporting that the MPJFL have decided to join with the Frankston District Junior Football League and the South East Leagues for a combined competition, the older age group, so that we'll get some airplay on Halftime Heroes later in the week. Podcast dropped tonight, so tune in. Be interesting to see their make of it for the MPFNL division and the 6 clubs applying for membership to the MPFNL. So lots of movement of clubs in and out of Metro, Southern, Mornington Peninsula, in all sporting codes on the Mornington Peninsula at the moment.
Ducking under. Tommy very animated at the best at all times.
Nah.
Shows his the state of his bowl coming in under the head. Okay. Oh, pushes it over, but not enough.
Just the rollover would have been handy.
Oh, he needs a touch. Oh, just misses. He was searching for it. Okay, Scotty has asked Billy to come the other hand, come onto his bowl and roll it over. Oh, looking good to there. Looking good to there. Yeah, great bowl and in. Makes the target a little bit shorter. The reality is if he comes into Dylan's bowl, because the Scotty's bowl behind, it'll sit tight, so he needs the jack. Oh, we're looking at facial expressions, it's not looking that good. They're kind of riding it. Here they come, they're looking for it. Here it comes.
Jeez.
And he's got the jack. And
oh, it's rolled back in.
Rolled back in. One it is. So one shot to Rat Pack. Takes them to 5, only now 2 behind. Looking over in the pairs, Hooded Life are up 10-4. I can tell you that in the pairs, where Frankie's playing, they're now up 11-5, so that's 6. Still 4 on the other, that's 10. So now they're only 2 shots away on the shot differential. If they win both matches.
Holy guacamole.
So that one's close.
It's going to hit the outside.
So the way it's looking, Hooded Life looks as though they'll be very hard to beat them considering their score differential.
Well,
One to watch, I have to say, is clearly between Risebud and the Hornets.
The Darwin bookie says that they are the ones to watch, Phil.
Well, of course, Risebud, in the form of Men at Work, were the inaugural winners of Skyedome 2 years ago.
Looking to come inside. Yeah, and it will. Just creeping down. Oh, Tommy's put the hands up. He doesn't like that. No, he's not a happy camper. Oh, it cut in finally there. Might this... It does. That'll give them 2. Oh, some more work. That's the transition of ends. Snatcher's posting in safety. It's gone around the back. Levi, I want a YouTube link, not a drama. All part of the service. Just give us a tick and I'll grab that for you. On your way, Levi. Geez, they're all after YouTube links, Phil.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, the old Facebook ain't too crash hot. I think it's a dying... mind you, the bots will probably get me for saying that and kick us off the air, but... Folks, you'll probably find us moving forward in the future. We'll go to our webpage and make it more specific. And you'll probably find very potentially, I won't say 100%, but very potentially a little TV channel. We've got around 90 to 100 matches recorded, and we'd like to display those.
Changes the head. Can tell you over in the Risebud Hornets match that Hornets picked up 2 in the triple, so there's only a 2-shot differential there, 8-6 to Risebud. And I don't think we've updated. And I see in the pairs it's 11-6. So it's 5 shots, so 7. So 7-shot differential between the two.
Oh,
Remembering they've got to make up 12 shots that they were down in the first session.
we could be heading to some big numbers here, Phil. There's some measurements going on. I think it's Tommy and Scott just having a look at the...
I'll wait to see if they need the umpire. If so, I'll be gone. Both getting on the ground. Remeasure by Tommy.
A remeasure's like, sorry mate, I don't believe you. That's what it's really saying, isn't it?
Well,
You're nearly taking the P155.
No, well, look, you have an obligation to make sure, and sometimes,
Yep.
Pete, no, they've agreed on it. Look, it depends. Reality is you've got to find the closest part of the bowl, right, to the jack, and sometimes that's not necessarily in the middle of the bowl, depending on how the bowl is situated. And I've seen measurers go in sort of under the middle of the bowl. So what you need to do is actually move it up and down and left and right to find exactly where the closest part of the bowl is. And that can make the difference. And you also need to know that the back of the measurer is actually touching the jack, but is also in a straight line towards the bowl, because sometimes it's on an angle, and that can also take up a few millimetres as well in the measure. So you need to be quite specific. I did notice though up at the Australian indoors they predominantly use the lasers, so they seem to be used a lot now, more so in the bigger tournaments for Bowls Australia and Bowls Victoria. It seems that
Well, apparently...
all the umpires certainly seem to be using those at this stage.
Well, 28 minutes on the clock there.
Oh, and I look across and I see now in the triples that the Hornets have now hit the lead, 9-8. So that is now reduced, so they're in fact winning by 1, but they are still 5 down as far as the pair's concerned.
But 4 overall.
So that's 4 overall, so that's a little bit of breathing space there as far as the Hornets are concerned. Oh, Chris is clapping that one in. He called it from a very early stage. Callers just draw him off. So you either hit the shot bowl or the jack. He has that option as he bowls now. He's trying hard to turn, but even behind is a good bowl. Ooh, very close. Tommy on the mat. He likes the track. Oh, it's holding. It's just his weight. Ooh.
Oh, curl back in.
Yep. Scotty bowls. Oh, it needs the bend. Oh, 2 catches. Still 1 down.
So the white bowl off to the left, still holding.
Yeah, we've got to be very careful because they need to cover those 2 bowls behind, because if the jack gets taken to them, they'll suddenly be 3 down. So the bowl's wider. Okay. Well, now leaves the option for Dylan. He can afford to be a little bit narrow because he'll come under the jack onto the shot bowl. And that gives him the opportunity to push the shot bowl through and stay for 3. Or he can sort of come onto the inside of the shot bowl and then drop in for shot, or even move the jack slightly. So the benefit will be there. First bowl. Okay. Yeah, that's the call. Wise move. He needs to get him behind. Be careful though, not in taking the jack back to the actual 2 bowls there of Scotty's. No, it's bending. Call is to bend. He wants them to come in and sit those bowls. Oh, good effort. Well, he's taken 1 out of it if it moves. Yeah. Considering his options. Okay, he's looking at drawing it. Gives his back foot a little kick. That's tighter. It needs to come, needs to set it inside, rest. Oh, just went a little bit too far. Very good effort. So definitely holding 1.
That's a track, Chris. That's a ripper track, mate. Come on, matey.
Has he got the weight?
Come on, matey.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, he wants to come in. He wants to set up. Oh, and he's done that. Just a little bit too far. So that's 1 shot to the Rat Pack. All right, scores over on Rosebud and Hornets. I can tell you it's 9-all in the triples, but in the pairs, they've moved out to 13-6. So that's 7 shots. So it's tinkering in around that area.
23 minutes left on the clock.
And still the crowd is here watching. Quite a few taking advantage of being inside up on the bar tables, watching the matches. Others are outside under the heaters under the eaves. As this first bowl comes in, turning a fair bit out there at the minute.
Geez, that's coming in very nicely. Just a bit more weight.
Oh!
So Rosebud, yeah, they're in a position. They've got 25 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, well, they're actually 1 down over in the pairs with a beautiful draw bowl. Frankie was holding at least 2, possibly 3. Now it's off. Oh, hello, is it? I can tell you, Joe Turner's interested in this. He's looking to take out the shot bowl. Oh, has he? No, they're taking the 1-2. That's how important this game is. Wasn't game to actually try and get a second shot in. So they've taken the one over there, which reduces it down to 13-7 over in the pairs. Every shot will count.
Chris Owen willing this in. He's going to come in. Good shot there from Tom. Starts the journey back in now. Just going to fall short. Another 2 or 3 bowls links would have been handy for that. Jeez, it is creeping in. Great shot. Just touches the jack.
Okay,
Gets the chalk out.
So we're looking at this match where Hooded Life are winning 9-6, but I can tell you, over in the pairs, it's suddenly just stretched its way out. Hooded Life now are 15-4 up. So that's 11 shots up. So I'd say definitely Hooded Life are on their way to the playoff for the
Ka-ching.
For the Ka-ching, that's for sure. Of course, it's still not decided over against Rosebud, against the Hornets. Still 9-all as far as the triples are concerned, and 13-7 for Rosebud as far as the pairs is concerned.
Give them away, Phil. The magnetic button just needs to start ringing in their pockets.
Oh, they're starting to do it again, are they?
There it is. Just the little tape, just the little tamper sets them back a bit. Bit narrow here from Dylan. Needs a bit of pace. We'll cut around in front. So Chris Owen with his final bowl for the end.
I can tell you, though, over in the match that's really important, which is Frankie's match against the Hornets, that Frankie's holding 2 shots, which could widen the gap yet again. That's the important match at this stage. So they're looking at it. Oh no, only got 1.
Time the enemy now. It's racing to 4:45 at the moment as Dylan goes long.
He's making it very interesting.
Rat Pack grabbed the bat. I suspect they picked up 1 there, which will take it back to 7-9.
Okay, can tell you over in the triples that the Hornets did get 1 shot, so they're actually up 10-9. All they have to do is win one of these 2 matches and they're safe into the ultimate final.
just sitting alongside.
Over on Frankie's rink, they're actually one down, with Joe Turner still to bowl.
Mike Watts tuning in from Wales. G'day, Mike. Regular listener and viewer and contributor. Well done. Been watching some great bowls tonight and some very close matches. So.
Okay, so on Frankie's rink, Hornets 8, Risebud 3, 13 I should say, so that's 5 shots up, but they are 1 shot down as far as the triples are concerned, so that's brought it back to only just the 4. So they need to make a move now, remembering they've got to make up a 12 shot differential. There's a good bowl, in it she comes.
Tom with a touch of weight there.
Oh, through the gap.
So Scott with his last ball for the end. He'd look to get inside here. Jeez. I'll give him 2, I'd say. Maybe 2 in a measure.
All right, well Frankie is actually holding 3 after he's bowled his 3 bowls over there, so it'll be up to the skip for the Hornets to try and definitely cut that back.
There's a little thing. There's a little thing going tick, 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 Phil.
It's not the time to be dropping numbers, let me tell you that.
Jeez, Chris Owen. Wow.
It's a good bowl, but it's still not close enough. Is Chris's bowl, Chrissy Owens. Dylan Fisher bowls now. Well, I can tell you that the skip for the Hornets has put his first one into the ditch. It's not good. They're down 3. They need to cut this down because Joe Turner is putting another one in. And that he is now doing. That's 4. Not the time to be dropping numbers over there, Pete.
So the magic number 13, Phil.
Can he make the correction? I can tell you the skipper's bowled it. He's turned his back on it. He's not happy with it. All he needs to do is reduce the numbers though. Has he been able to do that? Even if he cuts out 1 or 2. You can see the tension out there. The players in the triples are keeping a very big eye on the pairs next door. He has 1 more shot, Pete, to cut this down. They're just doing a measure. We'll be able to let you know how many they're actually down. Okay, weight was good is the call. Needs to make sure he gets his grass a little bit wider. No pressure on this bowl, let me tell you, much.
Well, Rat Pack picking up another shot, making it 8-9.
Here it comes. Oh, he has actually cut it down to just one. It's this time of the match that what they've asked, Frankie's asking Joe Turner to take the last bowl out, which will give them huge numbers. Here comes the bowl. This is a really important bowl. I don't know if Frankie likes it. Is he following it? Has he taken it? Oh, he's missed it. Yeah, yeah. Can you ring it now? 10-minute bell has gone, Pete.
That's...
Well, they've come to their 15 ends over there, Pete, so they can't bowl anymore. So it was one shot to Risebud, so they ended up being 14 to 8.
6 shots.
6 shots. That means that Risebud and the Hornets have to make up at least another 6 shots. But at this stage in the triples, they're 10 shots each with 10 minutes to go. And they're playing their 14th end, Pete. I think it looks as though it could be the Hornets.
Get your reach, mate. That's all you gotta do.
Just a bit of weight there, that's all. Guiding through.
So I said the match is over. Of course, it's 15 ends, all the bell. And Frankie Krislovic and Joe Turner have won against the Hornets, being 14 to 8.
Nice shot there from
I have
Scott.
to say, from what I could see, Frankie winning the front end of that, which seemed to be the integral part of that. But 10 all on the playing the 14th end. Needs to be a dramatic turnaround by Risebud to make up the difference.
It's got some weight. Just keep on going. Definitely give them 2. I suppose the
7
talk
minutes
is
to go.
7 minutes. Will we get another ending? I think we will. Chris Owen comes in now. The score tie at 8-9 in favour of Hooded Life. Chris cutting across the head. He'd be disappointed with that shot. As Dylan Fisher comes in now. Plenty of width. I tend to think that's going to creep across the front as well. As Phil goes to bell duties, Chris Owen comes in with his last, maybe a touch of weight. He gave the wrist a bit of a The swirl, it is coming in, and on cue, it's the right angle. Oh, it's just gone through. Great attempt. I suspect it's still 2 down. Yeah, that'll hold short. The boys are going to call it. So Hooded Life through to the grand final next Thursday night. We'll just quickly have a look at the scoreboard and see match still in progress. So let's cross to the scoreboard as we'll just get some idea of what's happening. So Risebud. Let's have a look. Rat Pack 8-9. And we just see the score change in to reflect that last end. So it'll take it to 8-10. I don't think it went to 12. They're claiming by 3. But Hooded Life also taking out the pairs with Jet and Todd Simmons, 6-17. Great effort by the father and son combination then. We've got the scoreboard going a bit crazy here. Rosebud 10 to the Hornets 12. And then Rosebud 14 to the Hornets 8, which will mean a Hornets Hooded Life Grand Final, and in the battle for third place will mean a Rat Pack versus Rosebud final. So we'll call it a constellation final. So $8.5 grand up for grabs for either Hooded Life and the Hornets. And with $1,500 up for grabs for the Rat Pack and Risebud. So, folks, it's been great to have you along this evening. It's been some great bowls. We'll be back next Thursday with the grand final. We'll probably jump on around 6:15. Don't forget the Halftime Heroes podcast, which dropped today. Lots of discussion in that. Also, I'll post the interview with Samantha Atkinson and myself and Phil Crowder. We'll get that up and going as well. Until then, it's been a great night, Phil. We're just summing up the night and some scores.
Oh, yes, well, it got to the stage where Hooded Life and Rat Pack, yes, well, they couldn't win, so they chose to cut that short right at the end. And of course, it was looking interesting when it only got to about 4 shots behind in the shot differential for Risebud, but once they dropped those 4 shots and they knew even with the 8-shot turnaround at the maximum, there was no point playing the last, but they're still playing that one out. So that's the stage that we're at this stage. So clearly it's there'll be Hornets playing Hooded Life in the absolute final, which will be next Thursday, and you'll have Rat Pack playing Risebud for 3rd and 4th position, Peter.
Correct. Until then, folks, safe bowling. Have a nice weekend.
And look forward to seeing you back next Thursday. And of course, the food will be on again, folks. If you want to come down and see some obviously quality bowls, come on down to Kringle Skydome. Make yourself available of the food, the fully licensed bar and the heating here, and watch some very good bowls.
Thanks a lot, folks.